Let's look at the next body. Now, this is what will shock us. After this, they are going to have an inauguration, right? East African presidents will be there. Watch. They'll be there. Supporting injustice. I'm not saying she has not won. I'm saying do a free. Now, Angalia, look at the face. Let's start. This is now his personal one. Let's read. AUC Chair Mahmoud Yusuf. Read it. I know it's your uncle. Read it. Congratulate Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu on her election victory. The word is victory. Urges public to remain. Question. I told you peace is. So if you want people to remain peaceful, you have to create solutions that make people what? Peaceful. This is what our leaders. Is there any other one? Now, Angalia. Someone with beards. You know the Bible says gray hair is the glory of a man. Gray hair. So you're expecting when you see gray hair, you are seeing glorious words. Let's read. I extend warm congratulations to Samia Suluhu on her re-election as President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Her victory, listen, this victory, this is what we should reflect. Her victory reflects the trust and the confidence. Can you imagine him speaking? The trust and the confidence of the Tanzanian. I'm waiting for Kenya. Don't try it. Kenya, don't try it. Kenyans are on fire like this. They're just waiting for anything. Don't try it. Don't. I appeal to the nation of Kenya. Be wise. The wisdom of God rest upon you. Woo. I saw Kenyans saying, why? Where? Can we break the border? Kenyans are saying Tanzania. Kenyans are generous. They offer help even when help is not needed.
The chairperson of the African Union AU Commission, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, has expressed warm congratulations to President Samia Suluhu Hassan following her re-election. In a statement, Mr. Yusuf has reaffirmed the AU's support for Tanzania, emphasizing the need to preserve peace, national cohesion, and democratic governance. However, the election held on 29 October 2025 was marred by unrest. Demonstrators erupted across major cities including Dar es Salaam, with opposition parties claiming the process was neither free nor fair. Security forces responded with curfews, internet restrictions, and heavy policing. Mr. Yusuf also expressed deep regret over the loss of life, extending condolences to the families of victims. He stressed the importance of fundamental rights, including freedom of expression and peaceful assembly, reminding Tanzanian authorities and citizens to act responsibly. Regional experts have weighed in. Arthur Munda, Executive Director of the Southern African Center for the Constructive Resolution of Disputes, says the unrest highlights the need for regional engagement on electoral management and early warning mechanisms to prevent conflict.
And we do not expect regional bodies such as SADC and the African Union and the EAC to be taking time to step in, because the signs were there in Tanzania. The signs were there, the early warning was done, and it calls for people to now start listening to early warnings, to things that point at what may happen in a country, in a given country, depending on what is being brought out as an early warning sign. So then the other thing maybe that we can talk about as SACOD is that this is a lesson that we need to start building peace infrastructures in our countries, those infrastructures that can help in resolving such conflicts, and that is a key issue that we have been calling for, which has been missing in the region.
The AU's stance has drawn attention because it combines Congratulations for the election outcome with concern for democratic rights, reflecting a balancing act between the recognizing governance continuity and calling for accountability. For now, Tanzania's leadership faces the dual challenge of consolidating its electoral mandate while addressing citizens' demands for transparency and rights protection. Best Jerry, Diamond News.
In Africa, we have some of the lowest quality politicians. African countries say that they are democratic, they are kakistocratic. And kakistocracy is a government of the very worst. You are led by your very worst. That is kakistocracy. If you combine that with kleptocracy, which is a government of thieves, then you can see why Africa continued to punch below her weight.
Listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption.
It's ironical that you have a continent with the best natural resources of any others as of today, but they are being exploited for the sustenance of those who enslaved us and continue exploiting us, rather than being exploited for our own emancipation. Why? Because you have a leadership that does not recognize the degree of present-day enslavement, economic enslavement, and the necessity for emancipation. It's ironical.
Today something different is happening. Today something different is happening. Now the African leaders are facing backlash after congratulating our dictator, Madam Samia Suluhu Hassan, for his victory. Because many of us thought that maybe after all that happened in the country of Tanzania, maybe something is gonna be changed, because a lot of people have been killed in this country, something that has never been experienced since the time of independence of this country. We have seen many countries in Africa facing all this chaos, crisis during the election and after. But the country of Tanzania, the story has been different until the time Samia has come now to vie for this position. That's when a narrative has been changed from the has changed the picture or display of the country of Tanzania. Now, first, before we go and criticize all these African leaders, the first thing that we have to look up to is our organization of AU, because AU was the first organization to congratulate the victory of Samia Suluhu Hassan, despite all that happened. And it congratulated Samia even before his inauguration. And then it is not that they never know all that was happening or going on in that country, because during the time and even before the announcement, during the time of election period, all that period, we have experienced a lot of things. People have died, the youths have been killed, and all these youths who have been killed, they are not criminals, they are not terrorists. They are the people who are coming out, speak their voice. They are the people who are trying to come out and demand their right, their freedom, and their freedom to exercise a democratic way. But instead of the government listening to them and maybe giving them opportunity to practice their democratic way, behind it come and take their life. They were unalived.
I think we all need to agree on the continent of Africa and beyond to protest against African Union. That organization needs to be dissolved, because that organization, I don't believe it is for Africa.
So this, before we go deeper and we put a leadership behind, Samia is, first of all, he's a woman. He is a lady, a woman to the community who knows the pain of the family and everything. And now she's the one today who has been gone on to be sworn and continue with all the swearing in a process, while there are some her fellow women in that country mourning their children, mourning their husbands. So what does this mean or reflect the picture to the community? First of all, Samia has failed the image of women in Africa, because many people like Pierre Lumumba has been coming out to push this agenda of the women of Africa to be heard, and that their voice to be echoed loud, so that they can be heard in the community. Because it is said that we have to give women as a higher percentage to the community, so that they can even get the chance to lead this great continent. But this is one of the women that we have had in East Africa, the first president ever. But this is what she has tried to do. The first women that I come to know, to see people celebrating, is the president of Namibia, Dr. Netumbo Nandi, because she was trying to do the best. This is the leader and one of the woman leader who is doing the best, fighting for the Westerners and the white supremacists, fighting against the Africans exporting their minerals and their resources, and advocating for the youth, for the empowerment of youth, not going abroad or outside Africa to go and look for life, while Africa itself is the best place to be and make the best life. Now, we have moved in Africa, in East Africa, and something that we have experienced from the leadership of a woman, this is something that has exposed the image of the women negatively, which I believe that now the people will not have faith again in the leadership of women. Now, the African leaders have congratulated, and when you go through the news about the leaders who have congratulated the victory of Madam Samia Suluhu, are the leaders who, even in their countries, things are not good. The citizens are fighting on the street each and every time. When you go, we speak about the leaders like Ruto of Kenya, Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, and other leaders who have come to congratulate this victory. But again, we as African, we have been fighting for this freedom for so long. The African youth have been coming out on the street to celebrate, to push this agenda of freedom, independence, and unity for so long. But again, we always say that the problem are not the Africans, but African leaders are the problem, because these are the people who are limiting this agenda of African unity, freedom, and independence. Because we can't be coming out each and every day to advocate this unity, this freedom, this independence, while our leaders are the ones who are now worsening the situation every day. Africa today is not in a position of going on the streets to fight and kill against themselves because of political issues. But today, Africa is a country, as a continent, where the African countries would have been going, or Africans going on the street to celebrate after the victory and the achievement of their political games. But today something's happening in a different way that we are not expecting. And now, all that is happening today in Africa is not what our freedom fighters expected to happen. This is not what they were planning, because they fought so hard to expel the colonizers out of Africa, because they wanted the free Africa. They wanted a free Africa whereby every African would come to have a say and being able to make a decision where he will be satisfied with the decision that she or he is coming to make. But something has come to, and the narrative has been changed, where we as Africans, we are no longer able to come out and make our own decision, which we may want to work for us. And that's why we always say that Africa has not yet been independent, has not yet been freed, because all these leaders who are causing chaos, causing quarrels, and making Africans to fight and kill each other, are the same people who are still submissive to the former colonizers, who are still working and giving access to the former colonizers to come here in Africa and continue doing a lot of lootings and a lot of things. And now,
it's ironical that you have a continent with the best natural resources of any others as of today, but they are being exploited for the sustenance of those who enslaved us and continue exploiting us, rather than being exploited for our own emancipation. Why? Because you have a leadership that does not recognize the degree of present-day present-day enslavement, economic enslavement, and the necessity for emancipation. It's ironical.
My question was, how long are we going to continue doing things like this? Because today in East Africa, for the first time, we have had African lady who is the head of state, and now he's being called a dictator. He's being called a dictator because the country of Tanzania has been one of the countries to show the good example as a peaceful country. But again, everything has been spoiled. And now Tanzania, I believe that it will never be the same as how it has been used to. It will never be the same because today this country is mourning the innocent blood of the youths who have been killed by the government that's there to protect them. Instead, it has come to take their life without a reason. Silence is the weapon that used to destroy Africa, that used to limit Africans, not to raise their voice, not to come out and speak their issues. Silence. And that is why the Westerners have been using this to silence our African leaders, making Africa in one position, but not to move even some steps. But when we have the leaders who come out to echo the voice of Africa, they are being silenced. And now, today, the countries and many countries of Africa, the youths are being silenced. The youths are being silenced because they want they need to dictate to the Africans, and Africans have to live and go to the way the politicians want. Today, we just a few days, because I believe this has been the year of many countries practicing elections, holding their elections in a different countries of Africa. Before Tanzania, we had the crisis and chaos, the same. Like of Tanzania, we had this in the country of Cameroon. The Paul Biya, 92 years old. He is older than atomic bomb, older than a computer, older than any system that we are having today, older than internet. Because, and when you go to the Cameroon official government officials, they are all above 80 years. And when you go to the population of this country, 57% of the population are youths. And when you go still to this country is very large, with the highest population. But the majority of population are very poor. The country and the people of this country are only able to spend $2 per day to make a living. So this means that the government are only able to control their things as how they want, because the people are not even bothering of what is happening. They are not able to reach out and know all that's happening across the country, because the electricity is not available in this country for many people. There is no things like radios and TVs to make people know everything that's happening in this country, which is making a lot of things, a lot of problems, and a lot of suffering to the people of this country. And now, because these people have come to feel like they're tired, and they have come to be, they are on the wall. That's why they have decided that they are no longer going to allow this to happen. They are no longer able to allow this to happen. But what happened? Because Paul Biya is the leader. When you go to the Chief Justice, is more older than Paul Biya. When you go to the President of the Senate, the same. When you go to the Chief Military, the same. So it's a group of older people. It's like the group of ancestors who are sitting and make the decisions, which is only to benefit them, but not their people. So this means that Africa still, we have a long way to go, and we have a long way to go to fight this problem. Sometimes we know always that all this era was created by the Westerners. But again, before we go further and cross the borders to go and speak about the Europeans and the Westerners, we have to speak about ourselves. Because we are the one causing a lot of things, a lot of problems. Before they come here to make anything bad, they must come through our African leaders. They must come through the access of our own people. So this is what they always want from Africa. Once we fight, we quarrel, we do all these massacre things. That's what they want. Because through this, they must benefit. They must get what they want. So A dictator has been sworn in. What next for the country of Tanzania? Because in this country, the first thing I was so surprised about the constitution of the country, because it is said that once the electoral board has announced the win of the presidential bid, you are not allowed to go and challenge the results in any court of the country of Tanzania. So again, the celebration was happened or held in the military base, and the leader was this leader won the election or secured his votes with 98%. And now, if she really secured his votes with the 98%, why does he have to go and put this ceremony in a military camp? What are they hiding? Why are not being able to allow this 98% of the population to come and attend this ceremony so that they can celebrate their leader they choose? So African politics is a mind game that is only being held with a few group of people who are benefiting among themselves, but not for the interest of any African. Pierre Lumumba once said that no politician has your interest as a citizen, but it's a game of their own people and their billionaires who surrounds them. So they will continue being richer, and we will continue being poor if we are not able to choose wise, and if we are not ready to come out and speak our voice, fight. Because I end up by saying that, reminding you that once Ibrahim Traore said that African youths, the decision is in our hand. It's either we fight or we remain slaves forever. And I don't think if you are able or ready to go back to the slavery life, we were not there when it was happening. We were not there. But again, through the history, through the story, through the pictures, we reflect and we know how it was. So it is our time as African youths, no matter what happens, because liberation requires a lot of sacrifice, a lot of, it's a long journey that requires a lot. And this will only happen if we can stand up and raise our voice, no matter what tries to limit us. This kind of Traore, just tell me what to have the comment section, because all that we are coming to speak here, it is not because we don't love our leaders, but because our leaders have tried to show us that we have to find our own way. Thank you very much for being here each and every time. I welcome you again once in this channel so that we can continue sharing ideas and knowing all that we have to do as Africans, as African youths maybe, so that we can build this great continent together. Don't stop coming each and every time, because we are here always to speak about the motherland. And be blessed from, I love you and appreciate your support.